For this can be said of men in general, that they are ungrateful, fickle, hypocrites, and dissemblers, anxious to avoid danger, and covetous of gain. Men forget the death of their father sooner than the loss of their patrimony. A man who wishes to make a profession of goodness in everything must necessarily come to grief among so many who are not good. Men judge generally more by the eye than by the hand, for everyone can see and few can feel. Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few really know what you are. Men commit injuries either through fear or through hate. It is the nature of men to feel as much bound by the favors they do as by those they receive. Men are so simple and so ready to obey present necessities that one who deceives will always find those who allow themselves to be deceived. It is much safer to be feared than loved. Love is preserved by the link of obligation, which, owing to the baseness of men, is broken at every opportunity for their advantage. But fear preserves you by a dread of punishment, which never fails. Nevertheless, a prince ought to inspire fear in such a way that if he does not win love, he avoids hatred. He who wishes to be obeyed must know how to command. He who becomes a prince through the favor of the people should always keep on good terms with them, which it is easy for him to do, since all they ask is not to be oppressed. Cruelties may be called well used when they are applied at one blow and are necessary to one's security, and are not persisted in afterwards. For injuries ought to be done all at one time, so that being tasted less, they offend less. Benefits ought to be given little by little, so that the flavor of them may last longer. It is not titles that honor men, but men that honor titles. The lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves. One must therefore be a fox to recognize traps, and a lion to frighten wolves. A prudent man should always follow in the footsteps of great men, and imitate those who have been outstanding. If his own virtue does not equal theirs, at least it will savor of it. The first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he has around him. There is no other way to guard yourself against flattery than by making men understand that telling you the truth will not offend you. Never attempt to win by force what can be won by deception. Irresolute princes, to avoid present dangers, usually follow the way of neutrality and are mostly ruined by it. That war is just which is necessary, and arms are hallowed when there is no other hope but in them. War is not to be avoided, but is only postponed to your disadvantage. The main foundations of every state, new states as well as ancient or composite ones, are good laws and good arms. Mercenaries and auxiliaries are useless and dangerous. All armed prophets have conquered, and the unarmed ones have been destroyed. A prince ought to have no other aim or thought, nor select anything else for his study, than war and its rules and discipline. I judge that it is better to be impetuous than cautious, because fortune is a woman, and she lets herself be won more by the impetuous than by those who proceed coldly. He is happy whose mode of procedure accords with the needs of the times, and similarly, he's unhappy whose mode of procedure is opposed to the times. There is nothing more difficult to take in hand, more perilous to conduct, or more uncertain in its success than to take the lead in the introduction of a new order of things. Political disorders can be quickly healed if they are seen well in advance, but when, for want of diagnosis, they are allowed to grow in such a way that everyone can see them, there's no longer any remedy. Fortune is the arbiter of one half of our actions, but she still leaves us to direct the other half. It is a common fault of men not to reckon on storms in fair weather. Prudence consists in knowing how to distinguish the character of troubles, and for choice to take the lesser evil. One change always leaves the toothing for another. Men are always averse to enterprises where difficulties can be seen. A wise prince should establish himself on that which is in his own control, and not in that of others. The best fortress which a prince can possess is the affection of his people. Hatred is gained as much by good works as by evil. Princes should delegate to others the enactment of unpopular measures and keep in their own hands the distribution of favors. The vulgar crowd always is taken by appearances, and the world consists chiefly of the vulgar. Men are driven by two principal impulses, either by love or by fear. Men rise from one ambition to another. First, they seek to secure themselves against attack, and then they attack others. For the desire to acquire is truly a very natural and common thing, and men always do so when they can. Men are never satisfied. They desire everything but can only get some things. In a republic, there is more life, more hatred, more desire for revenge. The memory of their ancient liberty does not and cannot let them rest. Nature creates few men brave. Industry and training makes many. Gold alone will not procure good soldiers, but good soldiers will always procure gold. No principality is secure without its own arms. On the contrary, it is entirely dependent on fortune. Violence must be used to repair, not to ruin. A legitimate prince never lacks legitimate reasons to break his promise. Princes have found more loyalty and usefulness in the men, whom at the beginning of their power, they regarded with suspicion, than in those they trusted. It frequently happens that the ruin of a state results from a woman. In the actions of all men, and especially of princes, where there is no court to appeal to, one looks to the end. His name is Niccolò Machiavelli. While other philosophers wrote about utopias and how the world ought to be, Machiavelli did something unforgivable. He wrote about the world as it actually is. He stripped away the mask of polite society to reveal the cold mechanics of power, human nature, and survival. He reminds us that while we should strive to be good, we must be prepared to survive in a world that often isn't. This has been the Unbroken Dialogue. Leave a like and subscribe to keep the conversation alive.